Welcome to MacMo Academy. Today we will discuss the topic triangles. So it's a very interesting topic. So let's start with triangle. Tri means three, angle. So it means that three angles. A figure which has been formed by the combination of three angles, that figure is called triangle. So what are the basic elements of a triangle? As you can see that we are having a triangle in front of us and the name of the triangle is ABC. This is the abbreviation of triangle ABC. When we have to write triangle ABC, so we write this symbol triangle ABC. It means that it is having three angles, angle A, angle B and angle C. So it also has three sides, side AB, side BC and side AC or CA, both are same thing, order doesn't matter. And it is also having three vertex, and singular is called vertex and the plural of vertex is vertices. These are the corner points where two sides meet together. They are called vertex. So it is having three vertex A, B and C. So vertex A, vertex B and vertex C, these are the corners are called vertex. So in a triangle there are having three sides, three vertices and three angles. Now how to call those angles? If we want to name this angle, so there is a technique to call this angle. We have to call angle A like this, angle BAC. Means we are making a little arrowhead on A. It means that we are starting from line B coming towards A and ending at C. So that's why we will call it as angle BAC. We can call it as CAB, both are same thing. We are starting from C coming towards A and ending at B. So the end form between these two lines, it means that we are talking about this angle. This is how to name an angle. Now if I want to name this angle, so how to name this angle? It can keep this thing in your mind that angle which we want to name, that vertex should come in the middle. It means that I can name this angle like this, ABC or CBA. These are the names for this angle, but we always use alphabetical order, ABC. And if we want to name this angle, so we can call it as ACB. ACB, it means that we are talking about this angle. So this is a little bit introduction about triangles, that how many angles are there, how many sides are there. So these are the interior angle of the triangle because they are inner side of the triangle. So they all are interior angle. Exterior angle are also there. We will discuss about it in a while. So first of all, let's see the classification of the triangle based on their sides, equal sides they are having. If a triangle has two equal sides, for example, if the length of AC and BC is equal, this is the demarcation of equal line. If there is a small line over here and over here, it means that the length of these two sides AC and BC is equal to each other, and that triangle is called isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle in which two sides are equal. Two sides are equal and the angle below those two sides, these two angles would also be equal to each other in isosceles triangle. The sides which are equal to each other and the angle below those two angles, those two sides are equal, and two base angles are also equal. Base angles are equal in case of isosceles triangle. Instead of these two sides, if the equal sides would be these two, this one and this one. For example, this one is the unequal side. So the angle below these two lines, those angles are equal in size. So in that case, if these two sides would be equal with each other, so that these two would be considered as base angle of isosceles triangle. And the sum of angle, as you know, that is equal to 180 degree, and we can write it as base angles of isosceles triangle. This is the abbreviation. So after isosceles triangle, if three angles are equal to each other, for example, if these three angles are equal to each other, so that triangle is called equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle. All three sides and three angles are equal with each other, and if all these three angles are equal to each other, as you know that the sum of all the three angles is equal to 180, so each angle in case of equilateral triangle is equal to 60 degree. Angles of equilateral triangle, this is the abbreviation. Equilateral triangle, this is the abbreviation of equilateral triangle related to angles. And if none of the angle is equal with each other, then that triangle would be called, for example, this angle is different, this angle is different, and this angle would also be different with each other. So that triangle is called scalene triangle. Scalene triangle. In case of equilateral triangle, the length of all three sides is also equal to each other. Three sides and three angles are equal, we have discussed this. But in case of a scalene triangle, none of the side all the angles and sides is different in case of scalene triangle. So this is the classification of triangle on the basis of equal sides. Now we will discuss the classification of triangle on the basis of equal angles. Size of angles. Instead of equal angle, if we call it as size of angle, then it would be good. So if, for example, if a triangle is having these type of angles, all angles are different but all are lesser than 90 degrees, so that angle is called acute angle triangle. So in acute angle triangle, all angles is less than 90 degree. So that triangle is called acute angle triangle. Then second type is that in which one angle is of 90 degree. So that triangle is called right angle triangle. Right angle triangle. And in that triangle, one angle is of 90 degree. One angle is of 90 degree. Keep this thing in your mind, don't get confused. It is not possible in a triangle that two angles would be equal to 90 degree. In such case, it would not form a closed figure, so hence it won't be called as triangle. So that's why at least one angle or one angle must be, if it would be right 90 degree, then it would be called right angle triangle. And if the size of at least one angle is greater than 90 degree, so that angle is called obtuse angle triangle. Obtuse angled triangle. One angle is greater than 90 degree. Again, only one angle possibility is there for more than 90 degree. If another angle would be greater than 90, then it would not form a closed figure, so it won't be a triangle. So that's why there is only possibility of only one angle which should be greater than 90 degrees. So this was all about the introduction of the triangle and the classification of the triangle basis on the basis of equal sides and equal angle and the size of the angle. So there is one more property which is worth to discuss over here and very important to discuss. That property is about the relationship of the interior angle of the triangle. So in a triangle, the sum of interior angle, the sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. Means the size of all the three angles, if we add up all those angles, so the sum would be equal to 180 degree. Abbreviation is angle sum of triangle, which is always equal to 180 degree. Now let's start finding out the value of unknown in a triangle. For example, if we are having this triangle, and let's find out the value of unknown in this triangle. So here we are having a triangle ABC, and in this triangle we are having angle A over here, angle 80, and this angle is of 65 degree. Now if we want to find out the value of unknown in a triangle, unknown angle, so how to find out the value of that unknown? Again we will use this property that we know that sum of all the three angles is equal to 180 degree. So we will write this angle which is unknown, which is represented by a alphabet variable. So A plus 80 degree plus 65 degree is equal to 180 degree. We know that the sum of all the three angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degree, and we will give this reason angle sum of triangle. Always write down the reason. Now add both of these two values. 60 plus 80 is 140, so it would be 145 over here. And if we want to find out the value of wave, we will subtract this 145 on the other side. So this would gives us 35. So the size of angle A is 35. This is how we can find out the value of any unknown angle in a triangle. So now let's have another problem. Now we are having this problem, these two problems, in which we need to find out the value of unknown in a triangle. So let's discuss this problem first. In this problem we can see that there is a small square over here, and it represents that this angle is of 90 degree. And except this, one angle is also given, and this angle which is represented by A. So we will call or we will write the equation A plus 90 degree plus 65 degree is equal to 180 degree. Again the reason will remain same, angle sum of triangle. Now we will add both of these two. So this would gives us A plus 55 is equal to 180. Then in the next step this 155 will go over there and will get subtracted. So this will gives us 25. Now similarly we are having this problem. Now in this problem you can see that line AC and line BC is equal to each other. Now in this problem line AC and line BC both are equal to each other. How we know that these two sides are equal? Because there is a small line over here and a small line over here, which is saying that the length of these two sides are equal, which means that if two sides are equal in length, so the angle beneath those two sides are equal in size. So if this angle is equal to angle B, which is unknown, so this could also be whatever the size of this angle would it be, the size of this angle would remain the same. So this would also be called as B. So we are naming both the angles as B. Now let's create the equation B plus B, because there are three angles which is equal to 180. So this angle was not given and not asked to find out, but we have to mention that according to the property of isosceles triangle, the angle beneath the equal sides, these two angles are called base angle of isosceles triangle, and the size of these two angles would always be equal to each other, and this is the unequal angle which is given in this problem. So B plus 52 is equal to 180. what we will say that isosceles triangle, angle sum of isosceles triangle, like that. B plus B is equal to 2B is equal to this 52 will go over there and will get subtracted. So this will gives us 128 degrees. 2B is equal to 128, then this 2 is multiplying over here, it will go over there and will get divided. So 2 ones are 2, 2 64s are, so B is equal to 64 degrees. So this is how we can find out the value of unknown in a problem. Now let's look at these two problems. Now in this one, unknown is angle C. C is unknown, which we need to find out. It's 4C angle, the size of this angle is 4C and the size of this angle is 3C and it's 40. So again we will use the same technique. 4C plus 3C, the sum of all the three angles is equal to 180 degrees. Now 4C and 3C both are like term because both are having same variable. So this would be 7C is equal to 180 minus 40. So this will gives us 140, and this 7 is multiplying over here, it will come over here and will divide this. 7 ones are 7 20s are, so C is equal to 20 degrees. So this is how we can find out the value of unknown. This was very easy. Now in this problem, all the angles are having D in each angle, 3D, 4D and D. Again 3D plus 3D plus 4D is equal to 180 degree. Angle sum of triangle, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 1 is 8D is equal to 180. Then D is equal to 180 divided by 8. Now let's simplify them. 2 4s are 2 90s are, then 2 2s are 2 45s are. Then final answer would be divide 45 by 2, we will get the answer. Half of 2 2s are 4, 5 is left over, 2 2s are 4, 1 is left over, so 22.5. So D is equal to 22.5 degrees. So this is how we can find out the value of unknown in a triangle. Now let's discuss one more problem in which there is no variable, there is no solid value would be given. For we need to find out value f, only these three lines are given and these three angles are given. In this particular problem we need to find out the value of f, the value of unknown. In this problem all three angles were given, but unlike this problem, only what is given, three sides are given. Size of one which is unknown, we need to find out this. There is no other numerical value which is given in this problem. So this is the very solid indication that small line, small line, small line means all the length of these three sides is equal to each other. And if the length of all three sides is equal to each other, it means that it's an equilateral triangle. And in equilateral triangle, all the angles are equal to each other. So if this angle is f, so this would also be equal to f. Now we know the size of every single angle. F plus f is equal to 180 degree. 3f is equal to 180 degree. F is equal to 180 upon 3. So answer is 60 degree. So this is an equilateral triangle, and we have discussed in the properties that each angle in equilateral triangle is always equal to 60 degree. This is the proof of this angle. So I hope you have understood all the videos, all the content. If you have any query, you can drop us comment in the comment section. And if you have not subscribed our YouTube channel up till now, so do not forget to subscribe it and do share it in your friends and family. And thank you for your support. Stay connected for the upcoming videos and for the new topics. Thank you.